so she'd be a good saloon girl or this or that or something.
We'll pair her up with Lynn, because Lynn's about that age too.
And a big thank you to Desert Financial Credit Union for sponsoring our KRIM Community Spotlight program. Good morning, everyone, and hope you're having a great Tuesday morning. Weather is beautiful again today, so hope you're able to get outside and enjoy a little bit of the beautiful Payson weather. Well, Chris Higgins in the studio, and our new studio over at Sawmill Theaters. You can check us out on our KRIM FM Facebook page. We're streaming live, and I think you'd want to do that today because we have a group of characters in this morning. Outlaws. That's right. I'll just give you their names and then tell you the outfit that they belong to. We got Durango in here, Diamond Dave, and Kid Yuma, and they are all part of the Rim Country Reenactors. So they're going to share a little bit about their organization, their group, what they do, where they're performing, and how you can catch one of their performances. So Diamond Dave, I guess, do you want to start us off with telling us a little bit about the history of the Rim Country Reenactors?
Certainly. I moved up here about 8 years ago, very normally, and I pretty much look this way most of the time. If you can see me. And Kid Yuma over here came into the library one day, and he's like, "Wow, you kind of dress like you're in period outfit." I go, "Yeah." And he goes, "You could do any reenactment?" And I was like, "Yeah." And I did it back in Tucson, did it in Tombstone, and I'm like, I go, "Is there a group up here?" He goes, "No." I said, "You want to start one?" And so our very first meeting consisted of 4 people, me, Kid, and 2 ladies of our acquaintance, and we went to the Christmas parade, and after that the thing just blew up. By a year later we had probably 30 members. Yeah, it's and we called ourselves the Oxbow Outfit originally. We were working out of the Oxbow Saloon, and set up a stage there, did a lot of performances there. Eventually I left the group. I was president. We are a 501c3 nonprofit. Everybody's a volunteer. We don't pay anybody. All the money goes back into the group, or we donate it. We've donated to Duke Ranch before and places like that. So,
or we rob it.
Yeah. And so eventually I left the group, resigned as president, and started another group called the Troop. And things changed after that. About 4 or 5 months ago, I came back into the group. Really was only planning to write skits and perform. And it turns out the president was not doing well, and so they're like, "David, do you want to be president?" I'm like, "No." But it's nobody else. The other there's nobody to replace the president at the time, and so I was like, "Okay, I'll do it." And so we things are changing up a little bit for us than what we were doing. COVID, of course, had a pretty bad effect on the group. There's nowhere to perform, that kind of thing. So we're really kind of rebuilding, putting the group back together. I like to say we're putting the acting back in reenacting. A lot of the groups out there, I've seen so many people do it, and we're trying to just bump it up a level so that our performances are really, this weekend we were at Goldfield, and you want to talk about that?
Yeah, Durango, tell us a little bit about that performance there.
Yeah, I'm Durango. I'm the fastest gun this side of the East Pretty River. And we just did a skit at Goldfield Ghost Town, and it was great. I got shot.
You got shot?
A few other people got shot.
Yeah, me too.
But it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, we didn't. Yeah, it was really kind of up the game down there. And it gave them a really good storyline. Basically, it's this man defending his town against this kind of a Gary Cooper high noon kind of thing, against this group of vicious outlaws. And he's like, "Well, I got to go do this." And he ends up. We added some things they'd never seen before out there, including a Winchester rifle. I got to fire an 1887 Winchester rifle.
Oh,
so cool.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, really?
It's
impressive.
Wow. Yeah, we do use real weapons, but we do use blanks, of course, because
Yeah.
it's hard to replace actors.
Oh, yeah.
And we have especially, a lot of people are concerned now after the Alex Baldwin incident about using live guns.
Yeah.
We are insured and everything else, but we have a really rigorous safety checks and things like that to make sure that no live rounds get anywhere near the set. Things like that. But yeah, we added a lot of new elements that they hadn't seen out there before, and afterwards the Goldfield gunfighters came up to it, wow guys, that was spectacular. And so it was a really good show.
Yeah.
I'd like to thank David for, he's back in writing our scripts.
Mhm.
So we have a baseline,
Yeah.
solid baseline to follow along.
Yeah.
Little changes here and there,
Yeah.
but
And-
it's just more scripted, more.
Gotcha. And how often do you guys practice?
Right now, we did about twice a week before the show, because we have a script, we have to memorize lines and that kind of thing. Also blocking the thing out so we know we're good. I mean, it looks really like when you watch it, you're like, wow, that's but we choreograph this thing out, so we know exactly what we're doing when we go out there. And I think that's one of the things that really raises the boat, because a lot of the groups just improvise.
Gotcha.
And that usually ends up with a bunch of guys screaming at each other for about 2 minutes, and they all pull their guns and shoot each other, and everybody falls down, which is kind of dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of times we have pictures from our reenactment on Facebook and our website.
Yeah, Rim Country Reenactors on Facebook, and we also just set up a YouTube channel. We started loading videos up onto there. Like I said, we're just getting back into doing it, so we have gigs coming up at the Elks Club. We're just going to start practicing for those probably next week. We have a meeting this evening at the Word Church over on Concord. If anybody's interested, you can show up, come talk to us, see what we're about. It's a little bit of a business meeting, but it's also when we usually process new people in. We've had a really good reaction. We're about 25 members right now.
Wow.
A lot of people have joined within the past month or so. A lot of really dedicated, one of the guys, we really threw him into the Goldfield skit, just like, okay, we want you to do this part, and he's like, okay.
Yeah.
And he rocked it. He did a really good job. That's Ari. And
After saying that, we need more members. They all got shot.
Yeah. I don't think you want to disclose that, Durango. You leave that part out.
Oh, did I leave the part out where they're blanks?
Yeah.
They come back to life after the skit's over with.
We need more members,
Yeah.
please. We need more members
Yeah.
because they were shot.
have to replace actors, yeah.
That's funny. So for those that don't know, the Word Church, that's located, like you said, on Concord and Frontier, the corner right there, Bonanza Square. How appropriate, Bonanza Square for
Underneath the Frontier.
yeah. So
We picked that on purpose.
Was it, David? Is it 7, 6:30?
6:30.
6:30.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so our meeting is open to the public. Like I said, it's usually when we process in new members. They'll get to meet all the other members. I mean, it's everybody shows up for it, and it's really. I mean, we early on when we started this, we do not have we have a strict rule about no politics, no religion. Even though we meet at a church, we're not affiliated with the church, and we're not affiliated with any political group. It just makes it easier because so many people have different views, and so we pretty much just stick to shooting each other.
Hey,
But there will be no shooting at the meeting.
no.
Yes.
Yeah. And the reenactment. So you also, I know, Durango, you mentioned one of the performances that you recently did, end of last year, the Day of the Cowboy at the Rim Country Museum. So I think that performance, that was a reenactment of a historical event or something that maybe occurred during that time, or was it scripted? Was it something that kind of was made up?
It was one of the scripts that somebody came up with, but we
Okay.
also did a Bucket of Blood in Holbrook,
Oh,
and then we also did another one out in Goldfield last year. It was called a Kodiak.
mm-hmm.
Then we did the Pleasant Valley Wars up in Young,
There we go.
and it's all just a lot of great fun.
Yeah. Yeah, what is that? Was that in Young, part of the Young Days, is it called?
It
or
was the,
celebration? Yeah,
Tewksbury and the Grahams,
yeah,
where they had this big war that went on and on and on and on.
yeah.
And
And
we-
that's part of that Young Days, or where they
Right,
celebrate,
right.
and yeah, it's
Well,
a.
the group was invited for 4 years in a row because they liked us so much.
Oh, wow.
To come out and do a little bit of a skit
Mhm.
pertaining to the Pleasant Valley War.
Mhm.
And we did, stepped it up until last year was more or less our final year to write a
Okay.
script for it, unless David's willing to do something.
Mhm.
But then we just sat there and said, you know what? We can redo one of the other ones, the previous ones before,
Mhm.
because
Yeah.
Back in cowboy days at the museum, a lot of us went around, arrested people, put them in a makeshift jail.
Oh yeah.
And then I was also, myself and my wife played bootleggers.
Oh.
And we were running in and out of the crowd, and I had a vest on, it had jars of pace and dew in it.
Pace and dew.
And we was trying to sell
Yeah.
it and everything. And
Yeah.
finally, the sheriff caught up with us, and that was the end of us.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, a lot of the scripts, because we do, some of them are fiction. We usually base everything here in Arizona. We'll talk about Globe or Prescott or something like that. So really Arizona centric. But like the skit we did in Holbrook was based on a real gunfight that happened in the Bucket of Blood Saloon between two sheepmen and two cowboys, and ended up with 3 of them got killed. It was pretty bloody, and it actually it gave the saloon its name, because I guess afterwards somebody walked in and went, "Wow, this place looks like it got painted with a bucket of blood." And so yeah, they really enjoyed that, like that historical thing. And we do that. We do try to do the history thing a little bit. We're here to not just entertain, but also to educate. Especially a lot of these young people, they don't get Arizona history in their schools anymore. So it's kind of up to people like us, reenactors and presenters, to do this kind of thing. Kenny is actually slated to do a presentation to the library. You want to tell them about it?
yeah, I will. Yeah, I did it at I used to do it by myself on an individual basis.
Mhm.
Well, it became so popular, I did it at the National Day of the Cowboy at the Zane Gray's Payson Museum there.
Mhm.
And it's about my attire.
Mhm.
Why do cowboys wear the clothes they do from the top of their head down to their boots?
Gotcha.
Why, like, I don't have that particular hat on, but there's a little curl up there. As you see a lot of the guys with a little side curled up.
Mhm.
Well, that's because because in the pirate days, it gave visualization better to see what they're shooting at.
Ah,
You put
okay.
your cowboy or baseball cap,
Yeah.
you got the brim.
Yep.
You're kind of missing something maybe up to the upper right hand corner.
Yeah.
Curling it up opens it up a little bit more. The more you curl it up, the more visualization you have.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
it gives it that. It's not hot, we don't do this as Hollywood style.
Yeah.
We have
Yeah.
it for purposes of.
Wow.
Yeah, back in the day, actually, you could tell where a guy was from by the style of his hat. Down here in the Southwest, big flat
Bigger
brimmed hats.
brim,
Yeah.
yeah.
Up in the north, they do that sort of pinch at the top
Uh-huh.
because the snow and the rain would go wash off, and then they curl the front up so it just roll off the back of their hats. So yeah, you can actually tell where a cowboy was from just by the style of his hat. Yeah, Kenny goes through the whole outfit thing. We also have a young lady who does the same thing but for women, and she does it with a mannequin, but she starts with a fully dressed mannequin and takes it off piece by piece, and you start realizing how much clothing those women were wearing at that
Yes.
time, and you're just like, wow, that had to be hot.
Wow.
I think we have it tough with just what we have to put on.
Yeah.
It is amazing what they have. I mean, they have different parts of the clothing,
Mm.
one step at a time. It's
Mm.
like, bless your heart.
Yeah, I read an interview with I think it was Val Kilmer after he did Tombstone, and he said, we were wearing period correct clothing, and we were, he's like, I'm wearing wool. He goes, I totally understand why these guys shot each other.
Oh boy, again, if you're just tuning in or watching on the KRIM FM Facebook page, talking with Diamond Dave, Durango, and Kid Yuma, and they're part of the Rim Country Reenactors, and they do have a meeting tonight at 6:30 at the Word Church, which is located at 200 and that's Frontier, on the corner of Frontier and Colcord. That's West Frontier Street, just past the post office, and you have Bonanza Square, and it's the building right on the corner there, the Word Church. And you can go check out the meeting if you're interested in participating. Want to find out more information, just get to know these guys a little bit more and see if it's something that you want to do. Then go check out the meeting. So as far as next performances, do you have any set up where you'll be performing next?
We have 2 coming up in April. We are talking to a lot of different places right now. Like I said, the interest has just spiked. But we have 2 set performances at the Elks Club. I believe it's for a special event they're doing. We'll be performing 2 skits. One is written, the other one's currently being written. Gertie Bell, also known as Carla, is doing seconds. It's her first time actually writing and directing a script, so it should be really interesting. She's having a ball doing it. And then we've also been approached by the Prescott Regulators, the Tombstone Vigilantes, Western Village on the edge of town. There's like people are just really, and we have really got a lot of cooperation from the police chief. At one point there was they put a lot of rules on us and made it really difficult to play here in town. And when I talked to Chief Tishner, it was about 6 months ago. Yeah, and he looked over all the restrictions. He goes, "This is ridiculous. They won't even be able to hear you, let alone the gunfire."
Yeah.
So he basically lifted most of the restrictions. We still have our own safety protocols.
Yeah.
He's like, he goes, "All you have to do is call me and let me know where you're performing and you're going to be shooting." And he goes, "You're good to go." And
Nice.
we thank him immensely for that, because that's really given us a lot of leeway on where we can play and what we can do here in town. And we would really like to have the town, be part of the town, and the entertainment available is here. So,
Not to mention, without any gunfire, it wouldn't be that much fun
Yeah.
for the spectators or for us.
Yeah. I know that's a big part of the show, but as you were pointing out, it's not the only part of the show, and that's what you guys are focused on, to set your performances apart from maybe others that just go out there and, like you said, yell at each other, kind of wing it, improvise. There really isn't a storyline, and then they just start shooting each other, and that's entertaining. But if you can have that story and the acting and to where it is scripted and bring some history into it, that's really good.
yeah,
Word for reenacting, we're making a short movie in front of people.
Wow.
Instead, we're not making a 2-hour movie or an hour and a half.
Yeah.
We're doing it in 8 to 12 minutes
Gotcha.
of a movie by having the lines coming out and then acting it, performing it.
Yeah.
And we are looking for actors, actresses of all ages. We have a blanket insurance policy now, which covers everybody. Of course, if there are Arizona state laws and other laws we have to follow, as far as giving a young person a weapon. But otherwise, we do have roles we can cast them in. We have, so we're really all ages. Basically anybody's welcome to come join us.
Wow.
We really want to be very inclusive in that manner, and so and lots of great roles for women too. In fact, just
Bring on the women.
Hey,
Bring on the women.
hey, now Sassy Sage might be listening, Durango, so you got to calm the jets there. No.
But yeah, in fact, one of the skits we're doing over the Elks Club is about the suffragettes.
Oh, okay.
Because Arizona women in Arizona started agitating for the vote in the 1880s. They didn't get it in 1912, and the 2 times they sent a state constitution to the federal government, it was rejected because they wanted to give women the right to vote.
Wow.
So finally, when they did it in 1912, they sent the new constitution out. They deleted the right to vote for women, and as soon as we got statehood,
Yeah.
the legislature turned around and goes, "Okay, we're giving women the right to vote." So, and by then the federal government could do anything about it. So,
Yes.
but yeah, it took them a long time. But they would agitate just as they would anywhere else to get the right to vote. And so it's really, but it's one of the fun skits, like the one we did in Goldfield this past weekend was like really tragic. I mean, everybody dies, and but it really worked out well because at the very end, Kenny is our kid's one of the outlaws, and he shoots the hero in the back.
Oh,
Diamond.
And so,
shot him in the back.
but the
Bad way to go.
wife grabs the pistol, just starts popping off rounds the kid, and he's just sort of like jerking around as the bullets hit him. And she walks up and kicks him in the stomach.
That was added in.
And it
Was not expecting that.
And so, and the audience just went wild. They're like, she killed him, yeah.
Oh, wow.
One kid goes, he's not dead, his stomach's moving up and down.
Yeah.
You get the reactions of people, different aspects. There's about over 100 people at least watching this.
And it's cool because they're the proximity. They're pretty close to the action. It's not like you're far away, like you're on a stage and people are far away. They're right there.
I think the best part was when my wife, another outlaw, she was up on the balcony of the saloon.
Ooh.
And being with the outlaw, she just waited to take her turn. And she popped off a few times, but didn't hit him. And him with a rifle, which you don't go up a pistol against a rifle.
No.
She got shot hanging over the balcony. It was good.
Wow.
A lot of people at the end go, oh.
We added a lot of elements they had never seen there before, and I think they were really impressed by that. But that's what we're trying to do, really, is like put the acting back in reenacting to make this something really that people haven't seen before, and also just plug us a little bit more. We do have a Facebook page. It is open to the public, and people can go watch the videos and that kind of thing. And we are working on a YouTube page right now. We haven't got anything up to it, but that's coming. So, and we'll probably be doing a few more social media outlets as well. But so, if they're a little nervous about actually coming straight into a meeting, they can go, investigate the Facebook page and see what we do there.
All right.
Come to the rehearsals.
Yeah.
Then we may do to get a feeling of what we're gonna do.
And the Rim Country Reenactors, that's a group. That's a group actually that you can join.
Yes.
Is that okay. So I just selected join, and then you can also invite people to that group. But some pictures. Wow, and the picture of us. Sassy Sage, she's fast. She's fast. I'm surprised she got shot when she was that fast. And she already got that picture
She
up
was
there.
way up there on the balcony. He didn't know where she was until she started shooting.
Oh,
it was actually good because when we did it, she was behind the entire audience, and so when she pops off that first shot, everybody right beneath her jumped. It was so funny. The audience never saw it coming. So
wow. And there's pictures and then also the videos from the Goldfield performance. So that's cool. You can watch those videos right on the Rim Country Reenactors Facebook page. So you just want to go and join the group, request to join now. That gets approved by you or somebody in there. But it's open to anyone to join.
Yeah. We have people joining from all over, actually, not just up here in Payson. And we would like to thank a lot of the people who were at Goldfield, who came down from Payson to watch the show, which is really cool. But we have people from all over the state, and even some outside the state who are following us on Facebook, which is really kind of cool. We thank everybody for the support because
Can't do it without them.
Exactly. Be a very boring show without an audience.
Just us.
Yeah.
Yeah, the audience loves our skits when we do them. They just love it. You can hear them cheering and clapping at the end and everything. It's really a lot of fun.
There you go. And again, the performance is coming up at the Elks Club. Do you know if those are going to be open to the public, or are they?
I'm not really sure. We're still.
Okay.
I need to go talk to them, but if so, we'll be advertising them. And I'll let you know as far as that goes, and we'll put them up. I think this may be just a fundraiser for them, but they have offered to let us do more performances there. It'd be kind of nice to have a home here in town because we haven't had one for a while. Since COVID and the Oxbow, it's like we've been kind of like playing other places because we didn't have anywhere to
Gotcha.
It's there's limited. Most of it's because there's very limited performance spaces here.
Yeah.
It's they've been, since I've been here, they've been trying to revitalize Main Street. I wish they'd just build us a little old west town and let us
Yeah.
perform there. I mean, I think it would go over really well, but
It's tough. I think the first place that comes to mind, the Rim Country Museum.
Yeah.
Behind the museum, the grassy area there, where the lakes in the background, but you have the museum, the back of the museum, and that has a decent sized area where people could stand and watch.
Like I said, we're real careful about our safety protocols. We usually cordon everything off so that nobody's coming across the line. We when we're firing at each other, we don't actually fire directly at each other. We actually, it's an illusion, an optical illusion, because we fire off to one side.
Gotcha.
And we have to be 15 feet away from each other. We found if you get any closer, you get splattered with black powder.
Oh yeah.
And so there's these little things that we do, and we try to keep a good distance between ourselves and the audience as well, but not so much that it really affects, like when concussion from a shotgun, that whole audience just feels it right in their chest. So, it's so but like I said, many people, especially now with the whole Alice Baldwin, like I said, it's just there's a lot of concern about that. So it's oddly, and this it's happened in the past. Brandon Lee, of course,
Yep.
And the guy who was in Alias Smith and Jones, who actually shot himself in the head with a blank, goofing off, and basically ended the show. That was back in the 70s.
Heath Ledger. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So it's so it's we're very conscientious about that kind of thing, but we're also there to put on a real good show. And I think we're as proved by this weekend, we did it. They really they loved us.
Yeah.
I like to put a plug in.
Yeah.
Because of all the safety that Dave Timon was just talking about,
Yes.
we have a wonderful gentleman. I want to mention his name.
Oh, yeah.
His name is Art. He's in our armor. He repairs our guns.
Nice.
If we need any gunsmithing work done. And again, it gives us extra assurance that we're good. We try to be as safe as possible.
Yeah, Art's the one Art actually rebuilt the Winchester I was using from.
Wow.
It was a non-firing gun when he got it. He put in new firing pin. I mean, literally rebuilt it from the inside out so it would work. And yeah, it's impressive.
Yeah, I know. I got shot with it. Don't ever bring a pistol to a rifle.
No.
But no, and honestly, a shout out to all the members. I mean, we put together a really good crew, and it just keeps growing. I mean, we have two more ladies are joining us this evening for our meeting. Both of them I know personally because they worked with me in the group I had before. Both of them were really good actresses, and we're just so glad to have, especially some of the people coming back to join us again, and all the new people. We have, like I said, we threw Ari and just sight unseen into the skit. He nailed it. A guy, Dar, who also just recently joined us. Really excited. We didn't, unfortunately, weren't able to get him in that skit, but we definitely have parts for him in the next one. We have a lot of roles for people to fill. So.
And another thing to say too is new people that want to come in, don't worry about having to have a speaking part right away. Kind of get into it and used to it and everything. Then as time goes on, you can get into a little bit of a speaking part, or you can do a big speaking part. If you're nervous about speaking, don't worry about it. We'll ad-lib it or something, or
I mean, we're always, we have a real supportive group. As our rehearsals, you would never know from the performance we gave at Goldfield, which is really serious, how much we cut up during rehearsals. We're laughing and having a good old time doing this, but once we hit the stage at Goldfield, it just got deadly serious.
Yes.
And also another thing, the costuming. This can be an expensive hobby. It's the weapons can cost, depending what you're buying. Yeah, anywhere from I mean, you can find it cheap, but anywhere from $500 to a couple $1,000, depending what you decide to buy. And then of course there's the costume. We are able to help people out with costuming when they first join. We do have a closet, what we call a closet, men and women's clothes. We have a couple really good seamstresses willing to help people get into this as much as we possibly can. And so we're also looking for people who may not want to actually act, and who are looking to do set design and stuff like that, or be extras.
Oh, yeah.
Right now, we're in the middle of building a new bar, which will actually fold up so we can
Take it with
transport
you.
it easily.
Yeah.
And Wells Fargo box, so we can keep stuff in it just for a good prop. And so yeah, I mean, there's we're looking for all different parts of the equation to do a show. Yeah,
because it's a
production.
production, so there's different people that have different parts in that. Well, there we go. Well, it is 10:30, so after 10:30 actually, it went fast. I know, a lot of things to share, but if you want to learn more, a couple ways you can do it. Join the Facebook group, Rim Country Reenactors, and again on Facebook, or you can go to the meeting tonight, 6:30 at 200 West Frontier Street on the corner of Frontier and Colcord, the Word Church, and you can meet a lot of the actors will be there and find out more if you're interested in joining the group. So, all right. Well, thank you guys.
You're very welcome.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us. We
Chris.
appreciate
You
it.
are so welcome. And I want to thank Desert Financial Credit Union for sponsoring our Community Spotlight program. And thank you everyone that was watching today on our KRIM FM Facebook page and listening on the radio. Hope you guys have a great day. Time to get back to the music, but before that, a quick update from the National Weather Service.
I was going to mention, a lot of the clothing can be found at secondhand stores, stuff like that, but I didn't get a chance.
There we go. All right.